Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So today we're going to be doing a review and demonstration on the new ANi F160 Silver. So it's a very similar gun to the F150, but yeah, there's a few minor tweaks to the design itself, and I'll give you guys like a side-by-side look in a minute, but you'll also notice that it's silver compared to the old ones were black. The old ones had a bit of a textured finish to them. As you can see, the new ones, they're sort of like a polished alloy by the looks of it. But yeah, like I do like the new ones a little bit better, just because like the black ones, I don't know, because it's got that bit of a textured finish, they don't stay as clean as like a nice polished gun body as the silver ones you see here. There's a few minor tweaks, as I say, like just design tweaks to it, but functionality, I'd honestly say they're very similar. Like I can't notice much of a difference in the way they spray. But yeah, you got the user's manual parts breakdown guide, which as you saw I just threw straight in the bin. You've got your pot, you got your gun and your lid, and you get a spanner, and that's about it. That's all you need. But yeah, if you do go and get one of these guns, I would highly recommend getting a ANi cheater valve as well, which you're about to see me put on just here. These are great little cheater valves, and they're not going to break the bank. They're about $160, and this, sorry, $160 for the gun, but around $30 for the cheater valve. So you know, you can come in for that full setup there at under $200. Hard to beat value wise. I decided to slow down the footage there and then reverse it, just because I felt like it something a little bit different. And I hope you guys did enjoy the intro to this video. I just had an idea to play around in the video editor, and yeah, I thought it looked pretty cool. So there you go. Look, I'm just going to be spraying clear with this. Now this one here is a 1.3. This gun actually comes in multiple different tip sizes. I think you can go right up to 1.9, even larger maybe, but yeah, 1.9 will be great for primer. I actually do have one which is going to be getting reviewed for the primer gun reviews. I've got it still in the box, I haven't actually unboxed it yet, and you can go right down to possibly even 1mm, but I've got 1.2s. I really like using the 1.2s for sealer, they call it in the US. We call it wet on wet or non-sanding primer. I like using it for non-sanding primer, especially in the colder months, when you don't want to overload the material. You just want minimal material for your sealer down. It's going to dry quicker. You don't want to overload it. So yeah, the 1.2 has been doing pretty well. Another great thing that I like about these guns is that you're not overly precious with them, you know. They just, I had a guy referring to his FLG5, which is a similar thing. Like, they come in around a similar price range, you know. He calls them the La Punta, which is like Spanish for yeah, something that I don't know, probably best off not saying. Just I like to keep it all relatively PG, but I guess I'm allowed to say it in Spanish. But yeah, just like the workshop, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean. But yeah, I've been absolutely loving this in 1.3. Like, this is the first job I sprayed with this gun. Straight out of the box. They're not covered in oil or anything, so you can just give it a quick spray through with thinners, make sure your fan's looking okay, gives you a basic idea of how it's going to spray, wax some clear in it, and you're not going to be getting silicone and, you know, big issues through your jobs like some of those fake copies and stuff like that. They just seem to absolutely cover their guns in oil, for what reason I don't know. But yeah, like, I just painted this bar in it first up, and I'm like, man, that thing smashed it on. So if you hang around for a couple more minutes, we're going to be clearing up a Volvo XC60 door. And yeah, this, like, I've been really looking forward to making this review all week. I think I painted this bumper like on the Wednesday or Thursday, and I've been using it for the rest of the week for clear coat ever since. And really been enjoying it. I think part of it's just like, I like to use different guns and just change it up a little bit. Yeah, sure, there's different settings involved, and I don't know, it's just something different, I guess. And to me, like, when I try to recommend things to people, like, I'm not just going to go to everybody, you need to go and get yourself a starter jet. I can't do that, because they're too expensive. I can't just go and say, you should spend $1,000 on a spray gun. How can I do that? Like, yeah, I'd rather say, look, you know, you've got these options. If you want to go for like a good quality gun, you can always go for the GTI Pro Lite. If you want to go a little bit lower, you can go like a GPI FLG5. But this gun here, you know, it's probably entry level price-wise that you can actually get a decent finish out of, you know what I mean, and a decent build quality as well. So yeah, this door here came up absolutely killer. Just smashed that clear on, you know, just totally replicated that factory PL2, and yeah, just really enjoying using this gun. And so the settings that I'm using at the moment are basically full fan. The fan adjustment is on the left, just below the pot, on the left hand side of the gun. You can probably see the little knob there behind the air cap. You can actually keep winding that out, like it'll keep spinning, like it won't actually stop. So just go until it keeps spinning, and then just come back like quarter, half of a turn. So it's basically full fan. And then yeah, fluid, it's just basically right out, just a couple of turns in. It's not actually restricting the trigger at all though, so that's one of those things that you could tweak, play around with, you know, if it's the colder months and you're using unheated clear, which I do use heated clear, so I can smash it on and it's going to dry really quickly. And then pressure is 3 bars, so some people might be surprised and might say, well, that's a lot of pressure, but first time I reviewed this gun, I was spraying it at 2 bar, and one of my qualms with it is like, man, it's a little bit slow. And on the gun itself, it says HPS, so not fully sure what that means. I haven't like looked right into it, but I think it's like something to do with HP being high pressure, and I think the guns do spray a lot better at high pressure. They do go through a little bit more material than some of the other guns I've used, but I don't know, just for a budget gun, it's just an absolute ripper to have in the arsenal. And yeah, look, people in a workshop environment who have big compressors behind them, I'd say just grab it as an extra base coat gun or a clear coat gun. People at home, I'd probably say steer away from it because it does lack quite a lot of air pressure, unless you do have a really reasonable compressor and you're willing to deal with a bit of overspray because you are spraying at such high pressures. I'd probably say maybe even go for an FLG5. I also think the FLG5s are probably just that little bit better made. The pots on these aren't perfect. They're okay. Like this one here, as I said, I've been using it for the last 3 days and haven't had any issues, so to speak, as yet. But yeah, they're just like a bit of a softer plastic. If you go for the DeVilbiss, they just feel like a bit of a firmer, harder plastic, and it does just feel like it's made that little bit better. But yeah, I totally love this gun, you know, and like there are 10 points for originality, you know, like you look at some of those people that are, you know, making full-on rip-offs of DeVilbiss and Starter Jets. I can't go and support something like that. Yeah, sure, these are like entry-level spray guns, but they're at least original. They made their own design. They've gone into the time and effort and spent the money on R&D. Their own spray gun. Yeah, sure, it does the same thing, but yeah, I mean, I think that being a YouTuber, we have a little bit of a responsibility to, you know, the manufacturers of the products that we use to sort of do the right thing by them. And you know, if you're going and promoting, you know, cheap, full-on rip-offs guns that are trying to imitate other guns, then it's not really being very responsible to the people that make the guns. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. I definitely had a bit of fun making it, and yeah, let us know if you've got one, what you think of it, you know, your qualms with it. If you think it's a great gun, let us know also. Until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.